And welcome to Football Fan Den UK. How's it going? So today we are here for a live stream for Bolton v Portsmouth in League One. As most of you guys probably know, if you're a Bolton or Portsmouth fan, these two teams did go head-to-head in midweek in the AFL Cup, and it finished 1-0 to Bolton. But Portsmouth gave a good account of themselves as well. So, yeah, hopefully this will be a cracker, a good attendance. I think Portsmouth have got about 1,000 fans travelling up for the game. So, should be a good one, this one, guys. If you're just joining us, please do hit that like button and don't forget, drop your comments in the chat. Be great to hear from you. So we're just waiting for the two teams to come out, guys. And we should be seeing that in a minute. Just to give you guys an update on what's going on around the UK with football. It finished with the Manchester derby. It finished Manchester United 2, Man City 1. With a controversy, surprise, surprise, guys. Some serious controversy in that game. With the goal, and also apparently there was a fight in the tunnel, or something's gone on in the tunnel after the game. So that's quite interesting. Also in the other games, guys, it finished in the Championship with the earlier kickoff. Rotherham have won against Blackburn Rovers 4-0. So Blackburn, obviously, really a poor performance from them. I know they're playing away, but that's a really poor scoreline for them. The teams are coming out now, guys, so we should be underway in a couple of minutes. Just gives us time to say hello to you guys that have showed in the chat early. Aaron, how's it going, mate? Welcome to the show, Aaron Hart. All right, guys, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Great to see you. I presume you're happy with the Manchester derby win. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to see all the game. I only managed to catch the tail end of it, but plenty to talk about with regards to that game. We'll hopefully catch the highlights later. But I did manage to see the questionable goal. A very good win for United, but obviously the goal, it's a shame that the game is spoilt with that controversial goal. But yeah, I'm sure United fans will be partying tonight with that victory. But not to get too high on it, as Rashford pointed out after the game, a big game to come later next with Crystal Palace, United travelling away to Crystal Palace. So that's a very important game. You don't want to obviously get the Manchester derby win and then go and drop points against Crystal Palace. So should be interesting to see how that how United play. I think that the win today would have given massive confidence, and they'll probably go on a further winning run now as well. But yeah, I'm sure you're happy with that, Aaron. And I'm not sure. Just going to check. All right, yes. So Dundee as well. You obviously Dundee United, your team playing away at Hibs. That game is a minute in, still 0-0. So yeah, plenty of football for you to keep an eye on today, Aaron. But great to see you in the chat, mate. I hope you're doing well, and thank you very much for coming getting involved. Always a pleasure to see you, mate. Stevie Allen, afternoon, guys. Hope your team gets the win. Absolutely, hopefully, good win for Bolton today would be really nice. We got, like I say, we did meet Portsmouth in midweek in the EFL Trophy. That finished 1-0 to Bolton, but it was a tight game. Both teams kind of making it a scrappy one, but yeah, hopefully another win today would help Bolton climb up the table and potentially get further up the table to potentially get into by the end of the season into those automatic playoff, automatic promotion spots, which would be nice. Prefer that rather than going through the playoff system, but we'll have to see how it develops. But yeah, fingers crossed, Stevie. Bolton get a win. It'd be nice. Stevie Allen, hello Aaron, how are you doing, mate? Absolutely nice one, Stevie. Um, Only managing to do this stream today because of my wonderful Mrs. Becky, who set up the stream for me while I've been out working. So I was able to come home from work and jump straight on it. So massive thanks to my Mrs. Becky for doing that. Really appreciated. Aaron is saying the game has kicked off, just kicked off 20 seconds in, guys. So I'll keep you up to date as well as what's going on around the grounds. Aaron is saying, hi, Stevie, I'm doing good. Buzzing about them, about Man United. How are you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm sure you are buzzing with that, Aaron. Very, like I say, I'm gutted I didn't see the game, to be honest. But unfortunately, that's just part of life. You can't. There's so much football. You just can't catch every game, which is frustrating sometimes when you miss some of the tasty fixtures like the Manchester derby. But not much we can do when we've got other commitments. That's just part of life, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed the game, mate, and a very positive result for United. Which is good, and it's great to see United fans looking feeling a lot more positive about their team after the winning run that you guys have put together. Just a shame, like I say, that we're still having these controversial moments in football when we're supposed to have VAR to help reduce them controversial moments, and it doesn't seem to be really doing it, does it? Really, I don't know what you guys think, but I think VAR isn't really helping to improve the game all that much because we're still seeing a lot of controversial situations that VAR is not able to resolve. So, like I say, maybe that's a debate for another day, but I just felt it was right to say that. No, don't take nothing away from United. Like I say, good win for them, but it just takes that little bit of an edge off it, doesn't it, when when a game's decided with a controversial goal decision. Aaron is also saying, hi, Stevie, I'm doing great. Buzzing about the Man United win. I think I just read that, didn't I? Has that just repeated itself? It's repeated the same message. Yeah, it's repeated the same message there for some reason. Stevie's saying, bet you are, mate. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I've absolutely nice one, Stevie. Just had an opportunity for Bolton, I think. And it's gone out on this far side anyway. It's a Portsmouth throw-in. So we'll come to the game. I'll keep you up to date with the game in a moment as it progresses. But yeah, throw-in for Portsmouth on this near side, very close to the corner flag. Aaron is saying, yeah, mate, hoping for a Dundee United win today. Mate, we need the points badly right now. Our main striker is rumoured to be going to Dundee right now. Oh, that's an interesting one. So he's going to rival clubs. That's very unusual. But surely the club must have another striker in mind to replace him if that's the case. But yeah, that's unusual from that for local rivals, obviously, to do business, especially for a striker. But yeah, thanks for that, letting us know that, Aaron. That's definitely interesting to know that, and I'm like I say, I'm sure that the club have got another striker lined up if they are prepared to sell your main striker. I'm not sure if he's your best striker, but obviously you're saying he's your main striker. We just had a corner for Bolton, but nothing comes of it. And now the ball's in play on this near side, and it's gone out for a Bolton throw-in. Aaron is saying Man United first goal has been controversial so far. Everyone saying it was offside. Not sure. Well, it's definitely Rashford looked to be offside. But like I say, mate, it's one of them. It's the FA in it. It's they're the ones that have chose to introduce the VAR, and as we're seeing, it's not resolving all all disputes with regards to things going on in a game. So we'll have to see. Like I say, plenty of time to debate that. But it's a shame, like I say, mate. It's a shame that we're having controversial goals. Controversial issues still so much, considering VAR has been brought in to supposedly try and reduce that. And it doesn't really appear to be doing a great job of reducing it, because we're still in, as I said earlier, we're still seeing plenty of decisions that are being controversial, which just leaves that little bit of sour taste in the mouth, doesn't it? When we've been kind of pushed into accepting VAR, and without much fan input on whether it's good or bad. Which, like I say, from my point of view, I think it's really disappointing that that keeps happening. We just don't need it, do we? We want VAR to do its job and reduce the amount of controversial decisions, but it's not always the case. And like I said, I think there's plenty to debate about that in the future. But sometimes in football, you don't get the luck. So when you do get a bit of luck, you have to go with it and take it. And that's the way I always try and look at it. That in football, your team can get plenty of decisions that go against them. So when you do get a bit of luck and the decisions go for you, take it. You've got to grab it and run, because, like I say, it doesn't always work out that way. So why not enjoy a little bit of luck when it's coming your team's way? That's the only way you can look at it, because, like I say, it's just we see plenty of times, don't we, in football, where decisions don't go the way we want them, or the way it should. So, like I say, you got to take that bit of good luck when it comes your way, and make the most of it, because the next game you play might not be the luck might not be in your favour, and you also could end up with a poor referee that doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, but yeah, absolutely, mate. Like I say, I wouldn't worry too much about the controversy around it. Just enjoy the victory. Aaron also saying VAR's been the same in Scotland, mate. When United played Rangers last week, we should have had two penalties. Rangers defender handballed it twice in a couple of minutes, but robbed of a point. Like I say, mate, yeah, absolutely. Well, I think Scotland's a completely different subject to talk about with regards to refereeing, and the reason I say that is because obviously, after studying Scottish football for for the last 4 years or so, 3-4 years, as well as speaking to Scottish fans, I've definitely got to agree with the majority of Scottish supporters that the refereeing standard up there in Scotland is really poor. It really is poor. And it does seem to be. I've seen a few games now where I can totally understand why Scottish fans are thinking there's biased in the referee's decisions, which is not right. And hopefully, you never know, guys. Hopefully, fandom will grow enough so that we can potentially ring up the SPFL as well as other football associations and see if we can get some answers on your behalf to why they're not recognising the fans' disharmony, shall we say, with regards to certain things, particularly, like I say, in Scotland with the questionable refereeing standards. But like I said, that's one that hopefully we'll be able to maybe get challenge in some way in the future. Aaron is also saying, yeah, 1-0 Dundee United. So I take it you guys have got an early goal. Yeah, I can see that. So awesome for you guys up there in Scotland. And not an easy place to travel, Hibs. But yeah, that's good to hear that you guys got a nice early goal in that one, mate. We're just 9 minutes, just coming up to 10 minutes into the game, guys. Still 0-0. There's been one or two opportunities going forward for Bolton, but nothing really to shout about at the minute. Ball's out on that far side, just at the switching play between the two teams at the moment. So, like I say, not much to report at the moment, but we'll see how how the game develops. Sorry, where was I? Oh. Sorry, guys, was just having a little technical issue there. Where was I up to in the comments now? It's lost my place. Um, but yeah, absolutely, Aaron, nice one. Good to hear that you guys got a nice early goal in the game in Edinburgh against Hibernian. So yeah, that's good news, mate. Kieran Williams, welcome to the show, mate. Always great to see you. Kieran is saying hello, guys. Just driving back to driving back. I'll just listen. Glory, glory, Man United. I said it's the Rashi show. Yeah, good win for you guys today, mate. Like I said earlier, it's I'm just gutted I missed the game, to be honest, mate. But yeah, it's a um, good to see Man United fans are happy for the first time in a while. To be fair, because you guys have obviously been really frustrated with what's going on with the Glazers, so it's nice to see obviously United fans happy about the Manchester Derby victory. But like I say, enjoy it, mate. Like I was just saying, obviously there is some controversy around that the goal, but like I was saying to Aaron, sometimes you get the bad luck in games. So when you do get the good luck, a bit of luck going your way for your team, you grab it with both hands and enjoy it. Because, like I said, there's plenty of times in games where I'm sure we can all complain that referee decisions or offside decisions or penalty decisions, whatever it is, have gone against our teams respectively. So yeah, absolutely, Kieran. Glad to hear that you having enjoyed the game, and hopefully safe journey home, mate. And yeah, thank you very much for dropping in. Always a pleasure to have you involved, mate. Absolutely. Um, Lionel Thompson, welcome to the show, mate. Lionel dropping in. Great to see you, mate. Lionel saying, how's it going, guys? Just witnessed Derby conceding after 2 minutes. Now we've scored twice in the space of 3 minutes with Connor Hurrinhan and Max Bird. Awesome. Well, that sounds like your game with your team has started off at a fanatical pace, mate. So that's good to hear some goals going in for you guys. Sounds like that game has started off with some serious intensity for there to be 3 goals already so early on. But yeah, thank you very much for coming and getting involved, Lionel. Always great to see you, and hopefully your team get you a win today. Just quickly have a look over the grounds. Not going to read through all the scores because it's early in the kickoffs, but just give you guys an update on any particular games. Just seeing that, as Aaron told us, Dundee have gone 1-0 up against Hibernian. There's no scores yet in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. St Johnstone 2-0 behind to Livingston. In the Championship, Bristol City have gone 1-0 up against Birmingham. And opportunity. Sorry, guys, just to break off. Bolton with an opportunity here on the edge of the box. Oh, and it's a beautiful goal in the back of the net there. Crossed in near the back post. I'm not sure if it was a cross come shot, but come in at the back post. And the Bolton forward tapping it in at the near post. And Bolton going 1-0 up. I think we're about 13 minutes in there. So brilliant to see my team getting an early lead. Just to go back to the scores around the grounds, guys, I'm not going to read through them all because it's still early with the kickoffs. Just going to tell you the ones that have got goals early on. Luton have gone 2-0 up against West Brom. That's an interesting scoreline so far because a lot of issues going on at West Brom at the minute with the fans not happy with the ownership. Preston 2-0 down at home to Norwich. early on. Sheffield United 1-0 up against Stoke. There's no goals in the other games in the Championship so far. In League One, obviously, Bolton have just scored to go 1-0 against Portsmouth. Burton have 1-0 behind to Shrewsbury. The Cambridge United Morecambe game has been postponed. Cheltenham won Derby 2, as Lionel was just telling us. And that's 19 minutes in. And only one goal in that is in the other games in the League One, and that is Sheffield Wednesday, who have gone 1-0 up against Wycombe Wanderers, and that's 16 minutes in. In League Two, I'm only seeing one game in League Two with an early goal, and that is for Salford against Sutton United. So Salford 1-0 up against Sutton United, and that brings you up to date so far around the grounds, guys. So Bolton with a nice early goal. 16, just coming up to 16 and a half minutes in, and Bolton have got a free kick about 30 yards from the goal. Really disappointed with my club and the state of this pitch, guys. I don't know if you've seen the Bolton pitch recently. They've been allowing the rugby to be played at our stadium for the Rugby World Cup, but it's destroyed the pitch. It's absolutely destroyed the pitch. There's so many big ball patches. It's an absolute disgrace that the club have allowed the rugby to chew up the pitch like this. Because let's be honest, guys, Bolton, as much as we might make a bit of money out of having rugby played at the stadium, it's a football club. It's a football club, and we shouldn't be stuffed. Our players should not be suffering with the standard of our pitch because the club want to make money out of rugby. That's just not right. That's really frustrating as a Bolton fan to see our pitch in such a poor state because of rugby. Bolton with a free kick into the box, but it's cleared up the field. So nothing comes of the free kick there so far. But Bolton still in possession and pass it back to the goalkeeper. So keep you to date with that, guys, as it develops. But yeah, great to hear that you guys have gone 1-0. Gone 2-1 up in that one, Lionel. Lionel also saying Plymouth beat Ipswich today. A win for the Rams today would make us more clear in the playoffs. A win. Yeah, well, I wouldn't. Like I say, mate, obviously you keep a close eye on what how Plymouth are getting on because you live down that part of the country. Stevie, if you could just come and help. I mean, I got a technical problem here. If it's not too much trouble, sorry. Just Lionel. Yes, sorry, mate. Like I say, there's plenty of football to be played yet for you guys to push up that league and get in the playoffs. And I think with the way I saw you guys play the other week, as I said when you played Bolton, I think you guys will be finishing the season strong. And like I say, the playoff positions, as long as you stay in and around it at this stage of the season, then you've always got a great opportunity to get up the pitch. To get what was I saying then? I'm losing my train of thought because I'm yeah, sorry. Yeah, if you stay in and around it, mate, like I say, you've always got a chance of getting promoted and obviously getting into one of them playoff spots. But sorry, guys, I'm just having a little bit of a technical problem here, and obviously just literally walked in from work half an hour before I started the stream, so not quite got my flow going yet. Um, and the technical problems don't help. But yeah, absolutely, totally understandable. Like I say, Lionel, keeping an eye on that game and seeing if it impacts his team, which is understandable. But also, Lionel very interested in Plymouth because, like I say, he's lives down that part of the country, so has to endure a lot of rivalry and banter from the Plymouth fans generally. So obviously, understandable that Lionel's are always looking to see how Plymouth are getting on. Just bear with me a second, guys. Just trying to sort out this technical issue. Might have to listen to it through the radio if it carries on like this. Sorry about that, guys. Lionel saying Bolton now lead it at Portsmouth. I would prefer a Pompey win. Sorry, Gaz. Because Derby need to get more clear in the top five. Yeah, that mate, that's fine. That's understandable. Don't worry about it. Not it's but sorry, but obviously me being a Bolton fan, I would love to get a Bolton win. I do actually like Portsmouth. They're a great club. But and I wish them the well for the rest of the season. But obviously, as you can understand, being a Bolton fan, would love to get would love my team to get the win today, I'm sure you guys can understand. But yeah, Lionel there saying that he would like to see Bolton lose. I think you're worrying too much about the playoff spots early in the season, mate. Like I say, it's still midway through the season, so there's still plenty of time for there to be plenty of movement in them playoff spots. But yeah, I can totally understand why you're looking to other fixtures to see that Derby get the points they need and try and firm up their position in potential promotion spots. Lionel also saying, I reckon now we've got them 2 goals, we can see out and maybe get another 1 or 2 goals. Yeah, like I say, mate, plenty of time remaining. Yeah, we're only 20 odd minutes into most of the game, so plenty of time for the scoreline to change yet. So we'll see how that develops through the afternoon, mate. Lionel also saying Forest has been booked for Derby against. Again, swear down all the time. He gets a yellow card. Yeah, well, sometimes, yeah, players can seem like that, but it depends. It's like Roy Keane. Roy Keane used to regularly pick up cards for Man United, but nobody questioned why he was picking up the cards because a lot of fans could see that he just had a real hunger and desire to try and make an impact for his team. So sometimes players can do that in the game, and and that impacts why on their potentially getting bookings and stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that, mate. It's just part of the game. Maybe it's just the players showing real hunger, and that's down to the manager really to have a word with any fiery players that he thinks might pick up regular bookings. It's up to the manager to basically to try and have a word with those players before kickoff and just remind them to keep their cool and not do anything stupid. Sometimes some players just need to hear that from the manager. Lionel also saying Charlton now lead Barnsley. Yeah, mate, it's Barnsley good for Charlton now lead at Barnsley. Good for both Derby and Bolton. Both sides need to keep plenty of points clear in the playoffs. Well, yeah, like I say, mate, I've said it a few times. For me, I don't look to the playoffs for Bolton. For me, my team should be good enough to get promoted automatically. So if we can't make the automatic promotion playoffs, then the automatic positions, then I'm not too bothered about the playoffs. I'm not. The only time I accept the playoffs is in the Championship because the Championship is just so competitive. But in League One, no offense to every other club that's in it, I see my team or my club as being should be strong enough to compete at the top of the league and not be scratching around for playoff positions. So for me, yeah, if Bolton get promoted through the playoffs, fair dues. I accept that. It's part of the league structure. But for me, like I say, I think Bolton should have more ambitious and more optimistic view. What's the word I'm looking for? More optimistic um, ambitions of themselves to achieve success in League One and be pushing to get up there near the top of the league. And like I say, let's hope Plymouth start to drop some points and that starts to become possible. So, from my point of view, I would love to see Plymouth drop points today just to give a chance for other clubs to catch them up, particularly my own. Lionel also saying 100% Gaz, rugby shouldn't be played at a football stadium. If football, if looking at Coventry City's ground, they're getting forced out of their ground because of rugby. Like I said, well, yeah, I've heard a bit about that. That's an interesting one, that. But yeah, like I say, if you could see the state of the Bolton pitch, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. It really is bad. It's just it's shameful. I find it embarrassing that the club allow the pitch to deteriorate like that and then expect our players to put in performances and get results, because all it does is affect the tactics. It affects the tactics of the manager. The manager shouldn't need to take the pitch conditions into account. The whole point why we moved stadiums for Bolton moving from the old ground was to be able to have better stadium facilities as well as better pitch facilities, i.e. heated pitch, where you can help the grass grow with the heated pitch, as well as drying it out when it's winter and keeping it ice free. So for me, it's a bit embarrassing that the club have allowed the pitch to be ripped up so badly by rugby, and it really frustrates me, especially considering that not so just down the road is a real rugby town called Wigan. They love rugby, so let them host the rugby rather than Bolton. But clearly, the owners doing it for the financial reasons. But it's fine to do it financially for the money generated by the stadium. But how does it help the team if they have to take the pitch conditions into account and are not, for example, not able to play the ball on the ground as much because the pitch is in such bad order? So things like that, you've got to take that into account, and the ownership and should be taking that into account. We've got a throw in on the far side for Portsmouth. Midway inside the Bolton half of the pitch, and it's gone out again for another throw. And we've just had a couple of throw-ins in a row in the last few minutes, so not really much to report to you guys with what's going on in the game. With all these throw-ins, just the ball keeps coming in for a throw-in and then going back out again. So not really a lot to keep you guys up to date with so far. Lionel saying if Derby end up having to settle for playoffs, I've got hopes that we can win the playoffs. Yeah, that absolutely, mate, and rightly so. You should always be positive about your own club and what they can potentially achieve. So absolutely, totally understand that and respect it, mate. Absolutely. William Pike, how's it going, mate? Welcome to the show, William Pike. Saying, O'Neill sent off for Sunderland. Oh, that's so early in the game. How's that come about, mate? How's that come about? Well, welcome to the show. Always a pleasure to have you involved. We've got a corner. We've got a corner for Portsmouth on the far side of the pitch. The corner comes in and it's deep and it's headed towards goal, but it's gone wide and goes out for a goal kick to Portsmouth. But good opportunity there for Portsmouth, and at least they managed to get an effort on goal. I've seen a lot of corners in the last few games where it's been going high and wide, and teams not really making the best of their opportunities with corners. But Portsmouth, on that occasion, at least managing to get a shot on goal, even if it was wide of the post. But yeah, William, like I say, mate, that's disappointing to hear that a man's been sent off so early in the game, mate. Hopefully it doesn't impact the game too much. Just give you guys a quick update with what is going on around the grounds. Still no scores in the earlier kickoffs in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm sure, finished 2-1 with in the Manchester derby to Manchester United. But also in the Premier League, playing at 3 o'clock kickoffs is Brighton v Liverpool, which is still 0-0. Everton v Southampton, still 0-0. Nottingham Forest v Leicester, still 0-0. And Wolverhampton v West Ham, which is also still 0-0. In the Scottish Premiership, it's still 2-1 to Dundee United v Hibs. Motherwell 0 with Ross County 0. St Johnstone 0. Livingston 2. In the FA Women's Super Cup earlier today, that finished Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 1. If you guys are interested in that. In the Championship, Blackburn lost earlier on to Rotherham 4-0. Quite a shocker there, guys. Bristol City currently 2-1 up against Birmingham City. 0-0 with Burnley and Coventry. Cardiff 0-0 with Wigan. Hull City 1-0 behind Huddersfield Town. Luton 2-0 up against West Brom. Middlesbrough 0-0 with Millwall. Preston 3-0 down now to Norwich. And Norwich, the away team there. So that's a bit of a shocker there for Preston. Preston really struggling this afternoon. Reading 1-0 up against QPR. Sheffield United 2-0 up against Stoke. Sunderland 0-0 with Swansea. And Watford 0-0 with Blackburn. We'll go around the League One grounds in a minute, guys. Just to let you know, there's a free kick for Portsmouth midway inside the Bolton half of the pitch. So we'll see how that develops. If you guys are just joining us, please do hit that like button, drop your comments in the chat. Be great to hear from you. Yes, I am a Bolton fan, but this is not a Bolton channel. This is not a club channel. This is a fan channel for all fans of all clubs to feel welcome and come and get involved. So yes, absolutely. My club is Bolton, and I very much love my club. But as I say, guys, the Fandom project is not about any clubs. It's about you guys, the fans. So please do feel free to get involved in the chat if you're just joining us. So we just had that free kick taken, but it's gone out for behind for a goal kick. So nothing doing there for Portsmouth. So while we wait for the game to get going again, we'll just quickly go around the grounds in League One. It's currently Accrington Stanley 0, Bristol Rovers 0. Bolton obviously 1-0 up against Portsmouth. Burton Albion 1-0 behind to Shrewsbury at home. Cambridge United, as I said earlier, playing Morecambe, but that game's been postponed. Charlton Athletic 1-0 up against Barnsley. Cheltenham Town 1, Derby County 2. Exeter City 0, Forest Green 0. Fleetwood 0, Oxford United 0, Ipswich Town 0, Plymouth Argyle 0, and Milton Keynes Dons 0, Lincoln City 0, and Wycombe Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. So that's gets you up to date around League One, guys. And in League Two, it's currently Wimbledon 0, Bradford City 0, Carlisle United 0, Newport 0. The Crawley Town v Doncaster game has been postponed. Waterlogged pitch. Gillingham 0, Hartlepool 0, Harrogate Town 0, Stevenage 0, Leyton Orient 0, Barrow 0, Mansfield Town 0, Crewe Alexander 0, Rochdale 1-0 behind at home to Colchester, Salford 1-0 up against Sutton United, Stockport County 1, Northampton Town 0, Swindon Town 1, Grimsby Town 0, and Tranmere Rovers 0-0 with Walsall. So that brings you up to date around the grounds, guys. Also, there is the semi-final cup game in Scotland for the Scottish League Cup, which kicks off at 5:30. We will be streaming that, so please feel free to join us on that stream later, guys. And it's already scheduled, so you can go over there and drop a like on that. It would be appreciated, helps more fans see it. We just got a stoppage at the minute, guys, for a Bolton player receiving treatment on the pitch. So if you're wondering why I'm not giving you updates, that's why. It's been a bit stop-starty so far, this game. 35 minutes gone, and it's currently Bolton 1, Portsmouth 1. The player's just getting up now. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Didn't quite see what happened there because I was reading through the scores, so my apologies for that, guys. Joey is joining us. Welcome, Joey. Great to see you, mate. Joey saying hello, guys. How's it going, Joey? Great to see you, mate. How's obviously? I'm sure you're keeping an eye on your team today. Liverpool playing away at Brighton, not an easy place to go, and a long trip down there to the south coast. So I'm sure you're keeping an eye on that, mate. And with all respect to Brighton, I've got to be honest, I hope Liverpool do pick up some points to close the gap on that top four to make it a bit more competitive. That would be nice. But Brighton have I've got to be taken serious contenders because let's be honest, they have been putting in some interesting performances since they've been in the Premier League and really showing their competitive side. So Bolton with Bodvaras going off with an injury, and it's I can never pronounce his name, guys. I can never. He's got some of the Bolton players. I've got some. Well, in all teams, I think some of the players have got some names that are really hard to get your tongue around. But we are Bolton making a change up front. I'm sorry, I can't. I can never pronounce the player's name that's been brought on. So I'm not even going to try. I've been trying to get to know to try and pronounce some of these players. I have got to know my team better this season. I missed a lot of Bolton games last season through working on Fanden, but this season I've been pushing to try and get to know my team better because we have made a lot of changes to the squad over the last couple of seasons. But one or two of the players in the squad have just got names that just really hard to get your tongue around to pronounce them. So that doesn't always make it great to keep you guys up to date with individual players when I'm doing any Bolton streams. But I will do my best to keep improving with the knowledge of players' names. But as I've said to you guys before, that's not one of my strengths. One of my strengths in football is understanding the tactical and recognizing players' playing styles early on from each respective teams. I know a lot of fans, or there is a percentage of fans that do tend to watch players based on watching individuals and how they perform. But me, I don't really look at games like that. I always watch our teams gelling together, how they play, how they click, do they function well, and do they basically get the momentum going the way they need to together and gel as a team. Bolton in possession on the edge of the Portsmouth box. Cross comes in, and it's ended up with Bolton player at the back post who's trying to clear some space, but he ends up stumbling on the ball under pressure from Portsmouth defenders. And now Bolton still in possession on the edge of the box, and a shot comes in, but it's gone well wide of the goal, and Bolton now will go out for a goal kick to Portsmouth. And Bolton now will get back into a defensive position, but really good effort from the lads there to try and keep that ball in play and get something going. But like I say, it results in a goal kick for Portsmouth. Joey is saying, yeah, just watching, mate. Still 0-0. Yeah, like I say, mate, very tricky place to go, Brighton. Not an easy game to. Not an easy fixture when you have to travel down there. They've been doing really well for the last couple of seasons since they've been in the Premier League. So it's a tricky place for any team to go down there. We've seen quite a few of the big, what you might say, the big clubs in the Premier League go down there and struggle to get a result against Brighton. So yeah, but hopefully an upturn in results for you guys today, mate. I've already seen some fans surprisingly calling for Klopp to go. What is that all about after the success he has brought to the club and got you guys competing again, or at least help you guys get competing again at the top of the league? So I'm really shocked to hear Liverpool fans calling for Klopp to be sacked. It's that's not obviously it's only a small percentage at the minute, but this is the kind of fans that you have at these big clubs. Sometimes you have the glory hunters that just think just because it's a big club, that means that they're beyond losing games, and it doesn't work like that. You always have to respect the opposition and accept that they are going to come. They're going to try and go toe to toe. They're going to try and match you, and they're going to try and get a result against you. And if you respect that, and your players respect that, then that's how you start to pick up consistent wins with respect for the opposition. Bolton, some really nice play there. Portsmouth trying to get a break on Bolton, but Bolton defenders getting back and managing to pinch the ball back to clear their own lines. But the ball back in Portsmouth possession midway inside, roughly, on the halfway line, just inside the Bolton half. But Bolton have now regained possession from a bit of sloppy play from Portsmouth, but still being played on the halfway line at the minute, guys. If you're just joining us, please do hit that like button, drop your comments. It'd be great to hear from you guys. Love to know your thoughts on this game or any other games going on around the UK today. We'll be keeping our eye on all the other games that are happening. We do have an interesting goal to report, guys. Earlier in the Premier League, Everton have gone 1-0 up against Southampton, which is quite significant. Obviously, Everton in the relegation zone at the start of play today, and a lot of unhappy fans at Everton as well. Not sure if you guys have heard, but apparently the board members have been advised not to attend Everton's game today. Which is absolutely shocking. Don't care what they say about fans. Fans will, basically the owners just not wanting to accept the criticism from the fans. They're saying that they feel threatened. They may be dangerous for them to attend the game. Well, that's a load of rubbish. The fact of the matter is they don't want to go and face up to the fans who are unhappy with the way they have run the club so far since taking control. Bolton still in possession on the far side of the pitch, just passing it about amongst themselves down that far side. And now they've just tapped it out behind for... Oh, sorry, no. It looked like they tapped it back, but a tackle from Portsmouth player has resulted in the ball going behind for a goal kick. For a penalty. Sorry, guys, just not got my flow going today. A corner on the far side to Bolton. It actually looked like the Bolton player had tapped it out, but I think it must have just ricocheted off the on-running Portsmouth player and took a deflection, and it's resulted in a corner. Corner comes in. It's towards the near post and headed clear. And now Portsmouth in possession as they look to break up the field on the counter-attack. Bolton could be caught with not too many not too many players back, but Bolton just managing to slow Portsmouth down there to give themselves chance to get their defence in order, and Portsmouth managing to keep possession, but unable to catch Bolton out on the counter-attack there, but they're still in possession, and now they pass it back to their goalkeeper. Joey is saying, really don't know, mate. I like Klopp. Yeah, I do, mate. I do. I think, with what he's achieved at the club so far, I think that the glory hunting fans should just, have a word with themselves. Obviously, a club with the stature of Liverpool and the history and everything else, absolutely, totally understandable that you guys as fans want to see Liverpool competing for the top trophies at the top table. Absolutely, that is totally understandable. But you have been doing that for the last few years, so it's just disappointing to see that some fans, a small percentage, it's just a small percentage of fans that think that the players are robots. They must think that the players are robots and don't respect the fact that sometimes the opposition are going to come and match you, and it's not always going to go your way. So for me, a little bit disappointing to hear some Liverpool fans, and it's only a small percentage, but I think it's disrespectful to be calling for Klopp to be sacked so early on after what he's achieved at the club so far. And yes, I know this season hasn't started great from a Liverpool's perspective. I think for me, guys, and obviously, I'd love to know your thoughts on this, Joey. But for me, I think the biggest loss that has made the biggest impact on Liverpool's team for results and struggling performances in the last 12 months or so has been Wijnaldum. Letting Wijnaldum go, I thought it was a big mistake to let him go. He was such a key player in the middle of the park for Liverpool. So really disappointing that Liverpool decided to let him go. And I think that's it's been noticeable since he's gone. I know a lot of fans think that Marnie was the key player, but for me, Wijnaldum was the key player that Liverpool have lost. That could be helping them right now, click into high gear if they still had him. Although we also have to take account that he's also a player that's getting older, so maybe he lost a yard of pace since I've seen him last play. Which was probably about 18 months ago for Liverpool when he was last at the club, I think. So Bolton in possession now, deep in their own half as Pompey are trying to apply the pressure. And it's resulted in a throw-in on this near side, right in front of the dugout. But Portsmouth just trying to get some momentum going there. And excuse me, guys. Portsmouth actually managing to keep Bolton boxed in for a period of possession there for about 5 minutes. But like I say, Bolton have managed to get it back, and now we have a throw-in on this near side, level with the centre of the pitch, right in front of the dugout. Throw-in taken. Bolton looking to move forward. A long ball down this near side. And Portsmouth players gone down with both players. I think it was a 50-50 challenge, to be fair, but the referee has decided to give it as a foul towards Portsmouth. And there goes the half-time whistle. So it's currently Bolton 1, Portsmouth 0, and we got the half-time break. So a great time for me to come back to the comments section. We will go around. I'll give you an update around the grounds in a moment, guys. But let's quickly see what you guys are saying in the chat. Joey's saying Everton really need a win today. I'm all for fans protesting. Do they really think fans would attack the board members? Absolutely. Well said, Joey. Totally agree. Fans should be allowed to protest. And it's an absolute, it shambles that. What does it say about the club that their owners don't understand the fans' rights to protest and have stayed away from the ground because they feel that it's dangerous or it's threatening to them? Well, that just goes to show that those owners of Everton have not tried to integrate themselves in the Everton community, because if they had, they wouldn't feel that threat, would they? Absolutely, what you're saying is spot on, Joey. All fans have got the right to protest. And owners should respect that and not feel that as a threat. They should just respect that they are not the owners of the club. They think, I know we keep saying it's owners, and in the legal aspect of financially owning the club, yes, they are the owners, but the fans own the club. Let's be honest, guys. Then fans stop coming through that turnstile, and then their ownership of the club doesn't mean nothing, because the value of the club would drop dramatically. If you guys as fans stop going through the turnstiles. So let's have it right. It's fans that own the club. The owners that obviously in the legal terminology of it, they're more the caretakers of the club, because they will have the ownership of the club for whatever period of time. And as we see in these days, clubs are changing hands between ownerships quite regularly now. Some clubs have had 2 or 3 owners. I mean, look at Liverpool. Just look at Liverpool, how many owners you guys have had in my lifetime. There's been a number of owners that have owned Liverpool Football Club. And this is the point that I'm trying to make, is that owners are not really owners. They're caretakers. And if owners come into the club and feel that they can't attend games because they feel threatened, especially Everton's owners who have had control of that club now for a few years, that says to me that they have not integrated themselves into the Everton community. And because if they had, they would know that there's no threat to their safety. There might be a threat to them taking some criticism, and if they're not mature enough and adult enough to take that criticism, then they shouldn't be in football. But absolutely, I couldn't have said it better, Joey. You're spot on, mate. Fans have the right to protest, but they're not going to necessarily threaten the ownership physically or anything like that. They just want to have their voice heard. Yes, they might be a bit louder if the owners were there with their protests, and rightly so, because they want the ownership or the club caretakers, shall we say, to understand their feelings and their viewpoints. But I totally agree with you, Joey. It's embarrassing for the Everton owners to not be attending today's game for the Everton game against Southampton. And it just shows, like I said, I'll say it again, just shows these owners of football clubs don't always make the effort to integrate themselves into the community of the club that they are actually wanting to own. And that is shambolic. Because, like I say, it's just, it shows that they're not true football people, doesn't it, guys? It really does. Because as much as we all know, we're all passionate as football fans, and yes, Everton fans will be just as passionate, but they wouldn't harm the ownership. They might get loud and proud, and that's understandable, but they wouldn't. I don't think any fans would seriously threaten owners' safety under 99% of circumstances. I think the only time that might come into question is in the case of owners, like, for example, owners like Oldham's owners who own the club and seem to be cannibalizing it whilst staying away from the club. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Oldham, but Oldham have American ownership, and the owner will not speak to any of the press. And will not speak to anybody, does not allow the club representatives to speak to any of the press or any outsiders. And if you want to communicate with Oldham, get this, the only way you can communicate with Oldham is through the owner's solicitor. I know this because I've been to Oldham trying to speak to the owners for you guys so that I could get an update. And when I went there, I was told point blank, nobody from the club is allowed to speak to you. They gave me an email address for the solicitors of Oldham, and that is how you communicate with them. You communicate with them through solicitors. Now, how is that right? How do you run a football club doing that? That's completely wrong. And that is probably one of the only situations where there might be an exception to owners feeling threatened. But that's only because the owner is owning the club from a distance and not showing his face and not showing his commitment to the cause of the club, and making everybody channel their voices through his solicitor, which is an absolute disgrace, if you ask me. But yeah, absolutely, Joey. You're spot on there, mate. Couldn't have said it better. Thanks for that, Joey. Kieran Williams saying, what's the score, pal? Bolton 1-0 up so far, mate. It's half time. So hopefully Bolton will come out and get the second goal. And it's one of them games, this, guys, where I want Bolton to get the win, but I've got some Portsmouth friends and stuff like that. So I don't want us to absolutely demolish Portsmouth, but it's kind of one of them, innit? You got to get behind your club, but also respect the opposition. So there's the more important games for me is for us to smash teams, if you like, in this league. There's other teams that I don't like more than, like I say, for me, I've always liked Portsmouth. I think it's a great club. They're very passionate fans. And I know they've also got ownership issues as well. So there's a lot of clubs at the minute, isn't there, guys, with ownership issues. And it's bad, in it. What does it say about the EFL and the FA that we've got so many fans upset about ownership problems across the EFL and in the Premiership, as well as we're seeing with Everton? The people running the EFL and the FA should be bowing their heads in shame that there is so many fans feeling disconnected with their club because of ownership problems. It's bad, isn't it, guys? Joey is saying, completely agree. It was a big mistake. Is that with reference to what I was saying about the ownership not attending the Everton game, Joey? Sorry, mate, if you could just clarify that. Um, I'm presuming that's what you mean in what I was saying about the Everton owners not attending the game today because they felt threatened. Can you believe this, guys? Honest, come on. Just that this shirt, like I said, it shows they haven't integrated themselves into the Everton community. So I'm presuming, Joey, that's what you're agreeing with. Um, and like I say, mate, I totally agree. I think it's shocking, and I think your previous statement nailed it. To be honest, mate, the Everton owners, if they'd integrated themselves into the to the fan community of Everton, then I don't think they'd feel that way. So, guys, just let me quickly go around the grounds. Please do keep your comments coming in. It'd be great to hear from you. Like I say, we're not a club channel. We're very much a fan channel. So all fans are welcome to come and get involved. And we want you guys to feel part of the Fandom project and part of what we do. And we're doing that. We're doing that in a number of different ways, guys. But I'm not going to. I'll go through that later on. But just want to quickly go around the grounds, give you an update what's going on. Obviously, in the dinner time kickoff, it finished Man United 2, Man City 1 with a controversial goal. Also, in the dinner time kickoff in the Championship, it finished Rotherham 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs, just to quickly give you an up to date around the grounds, guys. It's currently Brighton 0, Liverpool 0, Everton 1, Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Leicester City 0, Wolverhampton 0, West Ham 0, and you have a later kickoff also in the Premier League, which is Brentford v Bournemouth, and that kicks off at 5:30. In the Scottish Premiership, it's currently Hibernian 1, Dundee United 2, Motherwell 0, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 0, Livingston 3. In the women's FA Super League Cup, it's Super League. Sorry, it's finished earlier. Kickoff: Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 1. In the Championship, it's currently Bristol City 2, Birmingham 1, Burnley 0, Coventry 0, Cardiff City 0, Wigan 0, Hull City 0, Huddersfield Town 1, Luton Town 2, West Brom 1. So West Brom pulled one back in that. Middlesbrough 0, Millwall 0, Preston North End 0, Norwich City 3, Reading 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 1, Sunderland 0, Swansea City 0, Watford 0, Blackpool 0. In League One, it's currently Accrington Stanley 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Bolton 1-0 up, obviously, against Portsmouth, Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 2, Cambridge United v Morecambe, match postponed. I'm presuming that's waterlogged pitch or something, but it doesn't actually say. Charlton Athletic 1, Barnsley 0, Cheltenham Town 1, Derby County 2, Exeter City 0, Forest Green Rovers 0, Fleetwood Town 1, Oxford United 0, Ipswich 0, Plymouth Argyle 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Lincoln City 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. In League 2, it's currently Wimbledon 0, Bradford City 0, Carlisle United 1, Newport 0. Crawley Town v Doncaster Rovers has been postponed for a waterlogged pitch. Gillingham 1, Hartlepool 0, Harrogate Town 0, Stevenage 0, Leyton Orient 0, Barrow 0, Mansfield Town 1, Crewe Alexander 0, Rochdale 1, Colchester 1, Salford City 2, Sutton United 0, Stockport County 1, Northampton Town 0, and Swindon Town 1, Grimsby 0, and the final game in League 2, Tranmere Rovers 0, Walsall 0. So that brings you up to date around the grounds. Also, guys, just to let you know, the Scottish Cup semi-final is also being played later on, which kicks off at 5:30. We will be live streaming that, so please do join us for that later if you're available. That would be great. Hopefully, that's going to be a tasty game. And the other semi-final is played tomorrow, which is Rangers v Aberdeen. So some good games going on today in Scotland and tomorrow, as well as the Scottish Premiership being played. The Scottish League Cup is being played. Guys, if you just joined us, please do hit that like button, drop your comments in the chat. It'd be great to hear from you. Joey said about Mane and Wijnaldum. Ah, right. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks, Joey. Sorry, mate. Just because we were talking about a couple of things to do with Liverpool, so I got confused. But yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Joey. Yeah, like I say, Mane, great player, and there's no question that you guys are missing him a little bit. But as I say, a lot of Liverpool players, sorry, a lot of Liverpool fans that I have spoken to this season seem to be blaming Liverpool's difficulties on the fact that Mane went in the summer. For me, that isn't the case. I don't. I know Mane is a loss, and it's definitely made an impact on the team. But for me, the biggest loss for Liverpool is Wijnaldum. He was the cog. He was the cog. A lot of the work that he did in midfield for Liverpool went unnoticed. By fans, and this is what I mean. Sometimes when you get stuck on named players like Mane and Salah, fans can just be watching the game and just watching out for those players all the time, and don't always see the work rate that other players put in the game that goes unnoticed because maybe they're not necessarily involved in the goal malfaction all the time, but their work rate and their effort results in them opportunities on goal. And Wijnaldum was very much like that for Liverpool. He was a really important player. He helped the team tick from front to back. And I think since Liverpool let him go, you guys have really missed him, along with the Mane going after him, obviously, as well. Then those two players together are going to be a big loss for any team. But for me, like I say, the biggest loss to Liverpool that is noticeable is definitely Wijnaldum, because I think a lot of players, like I say, a lot of fans just didn't recognise, or at least a percentage of fans didn't recognise the work rate that he was putting in for the team in midfield. And like I said, that comes as a result to me, guys, when you get fans that just want to watch the players that are the the star players, if you like, if that's the right terminology. So, guys, if you're just joining us, it's currently half time. We've had a goal from Bolton 15 minutes in, and it was scored by Charles. 1-0 up for Bolton. Portsmouth have had some possession, and I've threatened Bolton's goal a little bit, but not enough. They came into it a bit more towards the end of that first half. We're just seeing that just hearing that that the Portsmouth players are have come out early, and the Bolton players a little bit later. So that's interesting. Maybe the Portsmouth players have been given a bit of a telling off and told to get back out there and do the business. So that could be interesting. How this second half starts. Yeah, interesting to hear that Portsmouth players are coming out early. That would suggest that maybe they've had a bit of a telling off their manager and told to improve their performance. But we'll see as we get underway with the second half in a few minutes. So we're just waiting for the second half to restart. The teams, both of the teams are out now, guys. Bolton kick it off. And Bolton in possession with a long ball up the field to restart the second half. Portsmouth trying to get possession deep in their own half, but Bolton managing to keep hold of it on that far side, and now they're looking to get into the box with a cross, and it's deep, goes over everybody and ends up on this far side, and now it's knocked out for a throw into Bolton by Portsmouth defender. Great to see there's a good attendance from the Portsmouth fan community at Bolton today. Long journey that from Portsmouth to come up to Bolton. So massive respect to the Pompey fans that have travelled up today for the game. I think it was only about 300 fans that came in midweek, but I believe there's in attendance today about 1,000 Portsmouth fans have come up. And just after Christmas, guys, let's be honest, it's only a couple of weeks after Christmas. Massive respect to those guys for making that long journey up from the south coast to get behind their team. Long throw for Bolton comes in, but it's headed well wide and goes out for a goal kick to Portsmouth. Oh yeah. Should be some easy score predictions for you guys later on when we do the stream later for the Celtic v Kilmarnock game. That should be quite easy for you guys to give some score predictions like in that. I'm expecting a lot of fans to expect Celtic to win, but I'll be honest, I will be rooting a little bit for Kilmarnock in that one because I do like to see the underdog achieve success. And the cross comes in for Bolton here. And a shot on goal, and it's a goal for Bolton. Beautiful goal, that. Cross came in from the far side, and it was right into the box. And Portsmouth tried to clear it, but only managed to clear it as far as just on the edge of the box. And Bolton player picked it up, came running onto it, and it's straight into the back of the net. And that's a really nice goal from Bolton's perspective. Yeah, the goalkeeper just fumbled it, and I'm just trying to see the player that scored it if I can. But yes. Yeah, I think it's Kieran that scored it. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to see. He's surrounded by his teammates, so I can't see which players actually scored it. But yeah, that was a nice goal, but unlucky for the Portsmouth keeper who did try to gather it, but just didn't quite get enough on it. And it's his touch just fell out of his hands, so to speak, and ended up behind him. And then he's trying to readjust himself, but just didn't have enough time. And Bolton slotted it nicely into the back of the net. So really good to see Bolton actually taking a comfortable lead and now 2-0 up in 48 and a half minutes into the game. Whenever I seem to watch Bolton, particularly whenever I go to the stadium, I got to the point at one point, I was going quite regular a couple of years ago, and I got to the point where I was thinking I should stop going. And the reason was because every time I went to games, Bolton would get 1-0 up or something similar or go 1-0 behind, and it was like a grind. And I think maybe it was because I went to when I was going a lot before. It was quite kind of when Bolton were dropping out of the Premier League and were going down, really struggling with results, and it was bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been to games since then, guys, but I'm just saying when I was going a lot more regular and my work commitments didn't interfere in me getting to games and stuff like that. I felt I was starting to feel like I was the bad luck charm for my team. I don't know if you guys have ever had that feeling where you feel like you're the bad luck charm for your team. You go to games and it just doesn't seem to click. And you start to think, should I stay away? Will that help? Will that help the team get the positive results that we need? Because whenever I seem to go to a game, we either lose from a winning position, or end up just grinding out a draw, or something like that. So yeah, I'd love to. Be interesting to know if you guys have ever had that feeling when you've gone to your club's stadium and tried to get behind the team. Have you ever felt that? Sometimes your attendance is not helping the team. I know I've definitely had that feeling in the past, definitely. But love to know if you guys have ever felt like that supporting your clubs. Joey's saying, nice one, Gaz. Surely you will win this one now. Yeah, we're looking at strong position. And to be fair, with all respect to Portsmouth, they've been really struggling recently with their results. And obviously, I absolutely, totally want to see my team win today. And I'm sure you guys can understand that. It's my club. Absolutely want to see my own club do well. But I'll be watching Portsmouth for the rest of the season with great interest because I do feel for the Pompey fans at the minute. They've gone from being in what was a really strong position in the league and doing well. They were up there near the top of the league, really competing. put a really good amount of runs together, put a really good winning run together at the start of the season. And then all of a sudden, they just lost their way. And since then, I think they've gone something like, is it about 15 games or something without a win, something like that? No, sorry, I don't know. I know it's quite a few games. It might be 10 games or something. I don't know. I know I've heard. I get confused because I speak to so many fans on social media that come at me, obviously complaining when their team is playing badly and having a bad run of games. That I just get a bit muddled up sometimes with which teams are having the worst run. But I'm sure it's a few games that Portsmouth have had a bad run of results after having such a positive start to the season. So totally understandable that Portsmouth fans must be feeling really frustrated with their team. And Bolton with another shot on goal across into the box to the far side. And Bolton with a shot on goal, but the goalkeeper saves it at his near post on that side. And like I say, good effort from Bolton there. But yes, absolutely great to see my team take a 2-0 lead for once and not hanging on in there with a 1-0. Let's hope they can capitalise on that and get a third. And with all respect to Portsmouth, it would be nice to see. Sorry, guys. It would be nice to see Bolton get a nice, comfortable lead to make sure that they're not no desperate defending, last-ditch defending towards the end of the game. Joey's saying, laugh out loud, we are superstitious when it comes to our teams. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah, you're right. I'd like to say, I don't know if you guys have ever had that feeling, but I've certainly had it. But yeah, thanks for that, Joey. And I suppose you're right. I suppose we do kind of look for superstitious connections, I suppose, when we're supporting our own teams and looking for weird little things like that to to try and make sense of some of the results that come in sometimes when we feel that the results are not going the way we expect them to. So yeah, absolutely, Joey. Well said, mate. Just seeing Portsmouth in possession, deep inside their own half at the minute, as they try to play the ball up the field, but sorry, guys, but Bolton have nicked it back on this near side. Just level, I think, just level with the box. And now they bring the ball back inside to midfield. Under pressure from Portsmouth. But this pitch is shocking, guys. This pitch is really shocking. Another ball comes into the box. Attempted ball comes into the box, but it's deflects off a Portsmouth player. Defending. And now ends up going towards this near side and Bolton player picks it up, but unable to get it under control. And now the Portsmouth keeper picks it up close to his near side post. What is going on with this? It's really annoying me, this with its gremlins today, guys. Sorry. Just bear with me a second, guys. Come on. Joey saying, lucky pants. Yeah, lucky pants. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, lucky pants, lucky shirt, lucky, what is it? Lucky shirt and lucky boxer shorts as well. I've heard that one before. Lucky boxer short. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen that film? the film I forget what it's called. Does he actually made a Liverpool film about you guys when you when you played in the Istanbul in the Champions League final? I can't remember what that film's called, but the guy in that has got lucky underpants. Uh, and that's quite funny. So yeah, you're spot on there, Joey. We grab hold of any kind of mad superstitions, don't we? Sometimes to try and justify or make sense of what we see from our own team. But yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that, guys. Just taking my earphones out because it's kind of annoying me a bit today. So yeah, like you say, Joey, we do try to grab hold of crazy superstitions to make sense of things, don't we? Just to give you guys an update, what's going on around the grounds. Currently, just to let you know, it's 56 minutes in, still Bolton 2, Pompey nil. It just keeps going out on this near side at the minute between the two teams for throw-ins. Currently, Portsmouth with a throw-in on this near side, level with the goal box. So I expect they're going to try a long throw in here into possibly into the box, maybe. But no, they don't. Um, but Portsmouth still in possession on this near side. Just go around the grounds for a minute because not much. Just watching now. This looked like Portsmouth had lost the possession then, but they've actually managed to keep it, and now they switch out onto that far side, um, looking to probe the Bolton defence. Just quickly go around the grounds, guys. It's in the Premier League. As you know, the early kickoff finished 2-1 in the Manchester derby. Brighton 2-0 up against Liverpool. What's going on there? Brighton 2, Liverpool 0, Everton 1, Southampton 1. So Everton have been pegged back now by Southampton. So some interesting goals going in now, isn't there? Nottingham Forest 1, Leicester 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, West Ham United 0. Brentford v AFC Wimbledon kicks off later. Hibernian still Hibs 1, Dundee United 2, Motherwell 0, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 0, Livingston 3. In the Championship, it's finished earlier. Rotherham 4, Blackburn 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs, currently Bristol City 3, Birmingham City 1, Burnley 0, Coventry City 0, Cardiff City 0, Wigan 0. Hull City 0, Huddersfield Town 1, Luton Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 1, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0, Preston still 3-0 down to Norwich, and that's quite surprising considering Preston at home. Reading 2, QPR 0, Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 1, Sunderland 0, Swansea City 1, and Watford 0, Blackpool 0. In the League One, it's currently Accrington Stanley 1, Bristol Rovers 0, Bolton obviously 2-0 up against Portsmouth, Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 2, Cambridge United v Morecambe game postponed, Charlton Athletic 1, Barnsley 0, Cheltenham Town 1, Derby County 3, Exeter City 0, Forest Green Rovers 1, Fleetwood Town 1, Oxford United 1, Ipswich Town 0, Plymouth Argyle 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Lincoln City 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. In League 2, Wimbledon 0, Bradford City 0, Carlisle United 2, Newport 0. Crawley Town v Doncaster Rovers match postponed, waterlogged pitch. Gillingham 2, Hartlepool 0, Harrogate Town 0, Stevenage 1, Leighton Orient 0, Barrow 0, and Mansfield Town 1, Crewe Alexander 1, Rochdale 1, Colchester United 1, Salford City 2, Sutton United 0, Stockport County 1, Northampton Town 0, Swindon Town 1, Grimsby Town 0, and Tranmere Rovers 0, Walsall 0. So that brings you up to date round the grounds, guys. If you're just joining us, please do hit that like button, drop your comments in the chat. It'd be great to hear from you, guys. If you I've just only just found our channel. We are not a club channel. We are very much a fan channel. We want you guys to feel like you are part of the Fandom project. And the best way you can do that, guys, is get involved in the chat, in the live chat on the show. Joey's saying, "Yeah, seen it, mate. Cracking film." Yeah, I can't remember the name of the film. I actually only watched that a couple of months ago in the summer. I think it was just before the World Cup, just to get my taste buds going for the World Cup. But yeah, I'd never seen that film before, but it was a cracker. I really like that film. They fall asleep on the roof, if I remember rightly, getting drunk. But yeah, it is a great film, that, with the Lucky Pants. And actually, to be quite honest, he's one of my favorite actors. He is because obviously it's Denzel that acts in that film, or he plays Denzel in Only Fools and Horses. I'm actually not sure of his real name in real life, but to me, he will always be Denzel out of Only Fools and Horses. But I'm sure you know who I mean, mate. But yeah, he's cracking in that film, isn't he? Bolton in possession on the edge of the Portsmouth box at the moment, and just passing it about amongst themselves. And now out to this near side, and a cross comes in, and a header on, and it's saved by the goalkeeper, and it's gone out behind for a corner on this near side to Bolton. But yeah, it's a really nice, smooth bit of play there from Bolton. That's what can happen when your team gets a comfortable lead, that you can start to see the players getting more relaxed and more inventive with their opportunities. So 60, just coming up to 63 and a half minutes gone, guys. Still Bolton 2, Portsmouth 0. If you're just joining us, it'd be great to hear your thoughts on this game or any other games going on around the UK. Joey, what's going on with Liverpool, mate? How is you guys suddenly found yourselves 2-0 behind to Brighton? Just if you can, mate, just please give us a little bit of an insight, if you're watching that, mate, what's going on with Liverpool in that game, if you are actually watching it or hearing it on the radio or something. It'd be great to know. Obviously, I'm not able to see what's going on in that game or hear what's going on in that game at the moment. But yeah, Joey, if you are watching it or listening to it on the radio, if you could just give us a quick bit of an update on how has that happened, how has that come about. You guys really having a dip in form at the minute. Now Bolton have wasted their opportunity for a corner, and now Portsmouth in possession, looking to hit Bolton on the counter-attack, and they've managed to get the ball up the field. Now they're inside the Bolton pitch, and the goalkeeper Trafford, Bolton goalkeeper Trafford, just managing to get a hand on it and keep hold of it, and it looks like, I hope he's not injured himself there. Looks he's just shaking his hand like he might have felt a little bit funny on his hand. I do love that kit, guys. Honest, that's my kind of colour. I'm gonna have to see if I can get one of them shirts. The Bolton goalkeeper's shirt. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's the Bolton goalkeeper's shirt. It's very much my kind of colour. It's luminous green. That is my favourite colour. That is why, if you notice, the Fandom logo is supposed to be luminous green, and that is why, because it's my favourite colour. I like bright colours anyway, but definitely I'm a big fan of luminous green, and I'm well impressed with the Bolton goalkeeper strip. It's beautiful, really nice luminous green colour. Think I may have to invest in that shirt at some point, because it's like I say, my kind of colour. Bolton, sorry, just having a stoppage for some substitutions at the minute, guys. So just bear with me, and I will try to let you know who the subs are. It's looks like potentially, are we seeing a triple substitution here from Portsmouth? It looks like it. I think, yeah, we're going to see a triple substitution here from Portsmouth. So 3 players coming off and 3 players coming on. So obviously the manager is feeling like 66 minutes in, the Portsmouth manager clearly feeling like he's seen enough. And now he wants to change things up to see if he can get Portsmouth back into this. So yeah, that's an interesting one, guys. Just waiting. Sorry, I can't see exactly what the players are. We'll hopefully get you the players' names in a moment. But yeah, definitely indication that the manager's had enough of Portsmouth effort, so on. Kieran, sorry, mate, we'll come to your comment in a minute. Just looking, I just don't want to miss these players. It comes up so quick on the screen with the players' names that, and they're not going to give us an update. No, we're not getting the players' names. It's not even telling us the substitutions. That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Because sorry, guys. Portsmouth have made 3 substitutions, but unfortunately, it's not come up with the players' names that they've exchanged on the thingy, and I couldn't see all the players from the camera angle. So apologies for that, guys. But the game has restarted. Bolton in possession on this near side. And passed back towards the halfway line, but it's deflected off a Portsmouth player, and now Portsmouth find themselves back in possession and looking to move up the field, but they've now lost it to Bolton on the halfway line, in just inside their own half, and now Bolton look to get themselves going again with a long ball up the field. Out to that far side. The possession stats so far, guys: 55% possession to Bolton, 45% possession to Portsmouth. Total shots: 12 Bolton, 8 for Portsmouth. So yeah, we've got a free kick on the far side for Portsmouth, taken by the goalkeeper. Long ball up the field for Portsmouth, right onto the edge of the Bolton box, and they're not unable to get the ball under control, and now Bolton clear the ball down the field. But Portsmouth pick it up again, and it looks like there will be another free kick for a foul. Sorry about that, guys. Kieran Williams saying Liverpool looking losing 2-0. Happy days. Well, yeah, obviously from your point of view, of your rival club, rival fan, that's understandable, Kieran. I got to be honest, mate. I do. You know, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I do like Liverpool. I've liked them for a while because of Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard, one of my favourite England players, and I've always respected his loyalty for staying at Liverpool, and that kind of made me have a little bit of a soft spot for the for Liverpool, if you like. So I do. I don't really. I don't really care to. I know there's a lot of fans that do like to see Liverpool lose, and I think that drives me a little bit more to like them for that reason. Because I see that a large percentage of the neutral fan population like to hate on Liverpool as well as Man United, and sometimes I'm not really that kind of football fan myself. I just love the game. I love the rivalries. Don't get me wrong, I do, but rivalries to me are more important when you actually play each other. I'm not really that one of these kind of fans that looks to see whether my rivals are losing this, that, and the other. As long as they lose when my team plays them, that's all I'm bothered about. That's all I care about. So for me, the biggest rivals to Bolton, from Bolton's perspective, is Blackburn and Man United, as well as now coming more into it City because of the success that they're having. I know we're Bolton not on the same scale as Man City at the moment, but it doesn't matter. It'll still be beautiful when one day when we do finally play them again, and Bolton humble them with a nice Bolton victory and send them back to Manchester with nothing. So I do look forward to that day coming round one day to give Man City a large portion of humble pie. But yeah, like I say, mate, totally understand, Kieran. Some of you guys love to look for the defeats for your rivals as well when you're not playing them. Oh, Bolton with a goal there. Beautiful goal there for Bolton. And come on, yes, nice 3-0 lead now for Bolton. The shot coming from just inside the box, but an arrowed effort, if you like, and right into that far side. Just a nice bit of play between the players, 1-2 between two players, and it's just slotted in beautifully by the Bolton player right into the far corner of the net. So yeah, three Bolton, 3 Portsmouth, nil, and it's Toll who scored it. 71 minutes. He scored it on the exactly, I think, pretty much on the set, bang on the 71-minute mark. But yeah, absolutely sorry, Kieran, to break off there. But as you can understand, the goal going in. But yeah, like I say, mate, respect. If you enjoy the looking for rivals results when you're not playing. But like I said, just sharing that little bit of details with you. For me, mate, I'm not too bothered about rivalries with clubs unless we're actually playing them. I love it when Bolton get results against Blackburn. And like I say, I know we have other rivals, Burnley, Accrington, and Wigan and clubs like that. But to me, the deep rivalry really for Bolton is between Blackburn and Man United. And the rest of the time, I'm happy for those teams to do well. Um, but like I say, when they play Bolton, no, absolutely not. I want to see my team get the result. Kieran's also saying, who got the second for Bolton? It was Lee, mate. Lee who got it for Bolton. Sorry, I didn't actually. I just didn't see the player. Couldn't identify the player at the time. But yeah, it was Lee that got the player. Sorry, that got the second goal for Bolton. We got a free kick for Bolton just inside their own half. Concerning that as well for Portsmouth fans, just noticing that their striker is just seems to be walking a little bit uncomfortably. So hopefully that's nothing too serious. But yeah, that's a bit of a concern for Portsmouth fans. You don't want your strikers picking up knocks in games because that's really going to impact your potential to compete. A cross comes in for Portsmouth and it's deep. And it's that deep that no player is able to get to it, and it's gone out from the far side for a throw into Bolton. So, guys, just a good opportunity to come back to the chat. Sorry, did I read your comment? Oh, sorry, yeah, I did. Thanks for that, Kieran. Like I say, fair enough, mate. If you are looking, enjoying the disappointment for Liverpool, that's fair enough. Joey is saying it's really hard watching Liverpool at the Mole. We've gone with a different formation. We're giving ball away cheaply. I know it's. I don't know what to say, mate. I don't know what to say. I've not been able to watch a lot of Liverpool games just recently. We're just seeing a double substitution for Bolton. Sorry, mate. I'll come back to your comment in a minute. We're just seeing a double substitution for Bolton. Sorry, why am I feeling so tired today? 74 minutes gone, guys. 74 and a half minutes gone. Sorry, Joey. Joey was saying, yeah, I can understand that, mate, because like I say, it's you guys have were riding the crest of a wave, so to speak, before the start of this season. Obviously, last season, bit of disappointment with the league, but you still performed well, competed well, and also got the 2 domestic cup wins as well. But this season, really difficult to put a finger on why the players are not performing to the same standard they was. You seriously can't pin that all on just Mane leaving, especially when the team has invested. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm not rating your new striker that you bought in the summer. I forget his name now, but I'm not rating him. I'm not rating him. I think he's been overhyped before he came in, and maybe at Liverpool have ended up with a bit of an overhyped player. He's definitely got some talent. There's no question there. But is he the finished article that Liverpool really need? We got a foul in on a Bolton player just inside the Portsmouth half of the pitch, close to the halfway line. And that will be a free kick to Bolton. Not too serious. The player's back on his feet. So, yeah, that's not too serious. That's good. And Bolton now build again down that far side. Long ball forward, but ends up in the hands of the Portsmouth goalkeeper. 76 minutes gone, guys. Still 3-0 to Bolton. We will go around the grounds in a moment for the other scores. But yeah, absolutely, Joey. I totally sympathise, mate. I've been in that situation with my own team. Joey's saying we just don't have any answers. They scored 2 within 10 minutes. Right. Well, that kind of makes sense. That's the way Brighton play, isn't it, mate? To be honest, they keep themselves in the game and they just wait for the right opportunity. And when they get that right opportunity, it comes out of the blue or out of nowhere, and suddenly, before you know it, they're knocking on the door a couple of times in a row. That's kind of how Brighton play, especially at home. So yeah, like I said, if there's a team that can turn that round, mate, and get something out of that game, it is Liverpool. So we'll see how it progresses as the game goes on. Oh, and interesting to know now, guys. We will just quickly go down the grounds because just noticed some interesting scores to keep you guys up to date with. So I will come back to the comments in a second. Uh, Brighton have gone 3-0 up against Liverpool now. So Brighton 3, Liverpool 2. Liverpool 0. So going to be real serious question marks being asked now from Liverpool fans, I should imagine, with a disappointing result like that. If it stays like that, 81 minutes gone in that game. Also, just to let you know, guys, Everton now find themselves 2-1 behind. So it's Everton 1, Southampton 2, 81 minutes gone in that one. Nottingham Forest 1, Leicester 0, Wolverhampton 1, and West Ham United 0. In the Scottish Premiership, it's still 2-1 to Dundee United. Motherwell 1, Ross County 1, St Johnstone 2, Livingston 4. In the Championship, it's currently Bristol City 4, Birmingham City 2, Burnley still 0-0 with Coventry, Cardiff still 0-0 with Wigan, Hull City 0, Huddersfield Town 1, Luton Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 3. So West Brom there coming from 2-0 down to be in a winning position now, 3-2 up. So that's interesting. Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0, Preston North End 4-0 down now to Norwich City. Ooh, that is that there's going to be question marks from the Preston fans to be losing 4-0 at home to Norwich. Reading 2, Queen's Park Rangers 2, Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 1, Sunderland 1, Swansea City 3. That's going to be question marks against. So we've seen some interesting results coming in here, guys. Sunderland fans will not be happy with that. I'm sure the Swansea fans will be bouncing. That's a long journey, one of the longest away trips for a club in the UK is Swansea Sunderland. So, I'm sure Swansea fans will be absolutely bouncing with that. But, I'm sure a lot of unhappy Sunderland fans at the minute. Their run of form at the minute has been a bit higgledy-piggledy. So I should imagine there's going to be some noise at the stadium, letting the owners and the manager know how the fans feel. And finally, in the Championship, it's Watford 1, Blackpool 0. Just thought you guys know, Portsmouth currently in possession, trying to look for a goal to pull one back, but Bolton keeping it tight at the back at the minute. We'll come back to that. And your comments, keep your comments coming, guys, because we'll come back to that in a minute. And a great save there from Trafford for an opportunity from Portsmouth. And Portsmouth just looking like that third goal might have just kind of killed them a little bit in this game, because you can just see the body language of the Portsmouth players not looking good. In League One, guys, it's currently Accrington Stanley 2, Bristol Rovers 0. And if you didn't know, Bolton have drawn Accrington Stanley in the semi-final of the EFL Trophy. So no southern journey, no journey down south. A local derby game for Bolton and Accrington in the EFL Trophy for the semi-final. So that's going to be a cracker, hopefully. Obviously, Bolton 3-0 up against Portsmouth. Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 3. As I said earlier, Cambridge United Morecambe game postponed. Charlton Athletic 2, Barnsley 0, Cheltenham Town 2, Derby County 3, Exeter City 1, Forest Green Rovers 1, Fleetwood Town 1, Oxford United 1, Ipswich 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Great, that's good. I'm sorry, guys, I'm enjoying that. Nice. I don't really thingy, but obviously I love to see Bolton climb further up that table. So good to see that Plymouth in a losing position at the minute. Milton Keynes Dons 0, Lincoln City 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. In League Two, it's currently Wimbledon 0, Bradford City 0, Carlisle 2, Newport County 0. As I said earlier, Crawley Town Doncaster game postponed. Gillingham 2, Hartlepool United 0. Harrogate Town 1, Stevenage 1. Leighton Orient 0, Barrow 0, Mansfield Town 1, Crewe Alexander 1, Rochdale 1, Colchester United 1, Salford City 2, Sutton United 0, Stockport County 2, Northampton Town 0, Swindon Town 3, Grimsby Town 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, and Walsall 1. So that brings you up to date around the grounds, guys. And also, like I say, we have the Scottish Cup semi-final, League Cup semi-final being played later on at 5:30. You can join us for the match watch along to that if you're not too busy, guys. And if you're just joining us, please do get involved in the chat and hit that like button. It'd be great to hear from you in the chat if you are new to the show, or even if you're not new to the show, if you're a regular watcher, please do get involved in the chat. Sorry, Joey. All right, I think I read that comment. Joey saying, yeah, imagine that Bolton 3, City. What? Oh yeah, mate, that'd be a cracking scoreline, wouldn't it? I think it'd be a while before we play City yet, but I am looking forward to that game, and hopefully they underestimate us because they've not played us for a while. And you never know. In a one-off game, we'd draw them in the cup or something like that. You never know. It's potential that they might underestimate us, and I know for sure that if we drew City or United at our own ground in a cup in future seasons, we would fill out the ground and create one hell of an atmosphere. So they wouldn't relish the possibility of coming playing us at our own ground. But yeah, absolutely, Joey. I would love to see that, mate. Absolutely. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, Kieran Williams is saying, at 1-0, thoughts Liverpool would come back. Fans saying Klopp out. They will never replace Klopp. Absolutely, Kieran. Yes, I was saying it earlier, mate. It's absolutely shocking to hear Liverpool. Well, it's only a small percentage in it, but Liverpool fans calling for Klopp. What is that all about? Come on. What? As soon as he has his first truly difficult season, they're wanting him out. That is not right. You've got to stick with him. He's brought he's got Liverpool back to winning ways. He's got them back to putting trophies in the cabinet after the success and achievements he's brought back to the club. And let's be honest, he's the first Liverpool manager to win the Premier League. So surely, does he not, unless he was in the relegation zone, surely Liverpool fans should at least give him one season's grace to accept that things are just not clicking right for him. He's a top manager. We've seen that in the time that he's been at Liverpool. And as Kieran is saying, they will struggle to get a better manager than Klopp. So, yeah, it's really shameful that a small percentage of Liverpool fans feel like that already. Or when they, it's the glory hunters, isn't it, guys? It's the glory. You guys are true football fans. That glory hunters, they only tolerate one or two defeats and then they're calling for a manager to be sacked. True football fans recognise that there is a bigger picture normally to why a team is suddenly starts underachieving. And surely, like I say, when Klopp has brought the success he has to Liverpool, obviously with the help of the fans and the players, surely he deserves one season's grace to try and put things right and have, like I say, make mistakes. But obviously, as we say, the glory hunting fans don't think like that. But yeah, thanks for that, Kieran. Well said, mate. Like I say, I agree. They will not find another manager as good as Klopp anytime soon. Um, Kieran Williams is saying no. Nah, Man United v Liverpool, biggest rivalry in England, in England, if not the world. Well, yeah, that's fair enough, mate. You're entitled to your opinion, although I would, it is a massive rivalry, there's no question, but I know a couple of fixtures that would argue the difference between that. For example, Celtic Rangers and Spurs v Arsenal. These are big games. So, with all respect, Kieran, you're entitled to your opinion. I respect your opinion. But I don't think, me personally, anyway, it's just my personal opinion. Personally, I don't think there is a biggest rivalry. I think all clubs have big rivalries, and yes, you're absolutely right. The Man United Liverpool rivalry is a massive, massive rivalry. But like I say, I don't think it's the same as players. I don't think there's a best player, and I don't think there's a bigger rivalry than others because like I say, Celtic and Rangers fans would probably argue that their rivalry is the biggest in world football. Possibly Barcelona, Real Madrid would argue their rivalry is the biggest in football, and also Tottenham, Arsenal would argue theirs. So, like I say, mate, we could debate that from now until the cows come home. But the reality is, there's always another fan that's going to think a different way. For me, I don't really think of biggest rivalries. I just enjoy them rivalries. Just that's the beauty of the game. Let's just enjoy all those great rivalries and the and the fantastic feeling it brings when we see those teams going head to head. But yeah, thanks for that, Kieran. And like you say, it is a massive rivalry, no question. Man United v Liverpool, but I wouldn't say there is any particular rivalry that is the biggest. But that's just my opinion, and you've got yours, Kieran. I respect it, even though I don't agree with that particular. I respect that it is. I respect your opinion, and I agree that it is a massive rivalry. I just don't agree that there is one rivalry that is bigger than any other. But thank you very much for that, Kieran. And like I say, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts there. Lionel Thompson is saying, I'm well scared now. Cheltenham of 2-3 to Derby. Yeah, I just read through the results, mate. But hopefully you guys can hang on in there. I did speak to you the other day and said that it's a tricky place to go to Cheltenham. But I expected you guys to get it over the line. And if it finishes like that, that would be what I expect. You cannot go to away grounds and expect that the team that you're playing against is going to just roll over and let you have the points. You have to give respect to them and take account that they're going to try and get something out of it. And like I say, hopefully you guys hang on in there and get the 3 points. Guys, just to give you an update on the game, it's currently 89 minutes gone. So we're just coming up to almost full time and time added on. And the game just being played out really between the two teams. Portsmouth trying to get something happening in the Bolton half of the pitch, but Bolton's really good defending, and Portsmouth. I think Portsmouth have just been a bit disappointing today. I did watch the game the other day when they played. Well, I didn't watch all of it. I watched part of it, and they gave a good account of themselves in the EFL Trophy. But today, they've been a little bit underperforming by their own standards, if you ask me. And I'm sure Portsmouth fans will be really frustrated with this performance. You got to feel for them when they get great travelling support. The Portsmouth fans do travel all over the country following their team. But like I say, disappointing performance, I would say, overall today for Portsmouth fans from their team. So we've got 3 minutes added on time, guys, and it's still Bolton 3, Portsmouth 0. But like I say, kind of the game is just being played out right now, and a long ball up the field from Bolton goalkeeper Trafford, and it comes balls on this near side, Portsmouth pick it up again, trying to get the ball back down the Bolton end of the field, but Bolton managing to stay resolute and resistant. Another long ball, but goalkeeper comes out to clear it. So yeah, guys, it's just being headed about, and it's a bit scrappy in midfield at the minute. Obviously, Portsmouth trying to grab a consolation goal of some sort, but Bolton are trying to defend well and keep Portsmouth at bay. Lionel, but yeah, Lionel, like I say, mate, I would think you guys would get that over the line. And we'll see. We've only got a matter of minutes to go before the full-time whistles. So ball thrown in from this near side for Portsmouth and across what? See, that's really poor from the Portsmouth player. He's hooked it over and tried to cross it into box, but he's put way too much pace on his cross, and it ends up right over the far side. Luckily, from Portsmouth's point of view, they managed to keep possession. But it's kind of been a bit like that with Portsmouth today. From Portsmouth's point of view, they've just been a bit sloppy with their passes, if you like. They've got a corner now on this near side. Hopefully, Bolton managed to keep it tight, because it'd be good to get a clean sheet in this one. Corner taken, and it's right into the melody of the players, and it's headed behind for a goal kick. A goal kick to Bolton. We've had 3 minutes time added on, and we are currently going 2.5 minutes gone of the added on time. Plymouth have pulled one back against Ipswich, so it's currently Ipswich 1, Plymouth 1. Obviously, that's disappointing for the teams like my own team, Bolton, trying to catch up at the top of the table. And the free kick is taken, and there goes the full-time whistle. So it's finished. Bolton 3, Portsmouth 0. Disappointing result from a Portsmouth point of view. Definitely a disappointing performance from a Pompey fan's point of view. But from a Bolton perspective, a very impressive performance today. Really, at all the players putting in the effort and giving a good account of themselves, and hungry to get the points on the board right from the start, and that's always great to see. So, guys, I'm just going to quickly give you around the grounds report, what's going on in the other games, and then I think we'll try and keep it short at the end of the stream, because, like I said, going to be jumping straight over to the next stream, which is the Scottish Cup, the Scottish semi-final for Celtic playing Kilmarnock in the Scottish League Cup. So we'll be jumping on that one very shortly. But just to give you an update around the scores around the grounds, guys, before I get to that, just to let you know, possession stats for Bolton, 52%, 53% for Bolton, 47 for Portsmouth. Total shots on target, 13 each. Pass accuracy, Bolton 72, Portsmouth 69. Attacking third was 58 for Bolton, and I think it said 46 for Portsmouth. But yeah, like I said, I'll try and get you some more of them stats if I can before we go. But just to give you an update of the final full-time scores, obviously some games still being played out. But in the Premier League, the early kickoff, as you know, finished 2-1 to Man United against their rivals City. Brighton finished 3 with a 3-0 win against Liverpool. Big shock there. Everton have lost again to Southampton, 2-1. So going to be a lot of protests and upset going on at Everton after being in a winning position and losing the game 2-1. Nottingham Forest scored a second, so they won 2-0 against Leicester. What is going on with Leicester at the minute? Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, West Ham United 0. We got a late kickoff in the Premier League at 5:30. Brentford beat Bournemouth, so we will keep an eye on that later as we do the match watch along for the Scottish League Cup. We will keep an eye on that other game in the Premier League. Scottish Premiership, Hibernian 2, Dundee United 2. Oh, so that's really disappointing from Dundee United perspective. They were winning that, and they've ended up walking away with draw. Motherwell 1, Ross County 1, St Johnstone 2, Livingston 4. In the Championship, it's finished in the early kickoff. Rotherham winning against Blackburn 4-0. The game against Bristol Rovers, Bristol City, Bristol Rovers v Birmingham City is still being played, and it's 4-2 in that at the moment. Full-time scores in the Championship: Burnley 1, Coventry City 0, Cardiff City 1, Wigan Athletic 1, Luton Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0, Preston North End 0, Norwich City 4, Reading 2, Queen's Park Rangers 2, Sheffield United 3, Stoke City 1, Sunderland 1, Swansea City 3, Watford 2, Blackpool 0, and the game, and also Cardiff City 1, Wigan Athletic 1. I think I read that out, didn't I? In League One, still game being played. Accrington Stanley 2-0 up against Bristol Rovers. That is just in the final moments of the game. Obviously, as we said, Bolton won 3-0 against Portsmouth. Burton Albion 0, Shrewsbury Town 4. Cambridge United v Morecambe was postponed. Charlton Athletic 2, Barnsley 0. Cheltenham Town 2, Derby County 3. So Derby managed to hang on and get the win. Exeter City 1, Forest Green Rovers 1, Fleetwood Town 1, Oxford United 2, Ipswich Town 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. That game is still being played. Milton Keynes Dons 0, Lincoln City 0. I can tell you now that the Ipswich Plymouth game has finished its full time, so it's finished 1-1. Wycombe Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and that game is still being played. In League 2, Wimbledon 0, Bradford City 0, Carlisle United 2, Newport County 0, Crawley Town v Doncaster was postponed. Gillingham 2, Hartlepool United 0, Harrogate 1, Stevenage 0. Stevenage 1, Leyton Orient 0, Barrow 0, Mansfield Town 1, Crewe Alexander 1, Rochdale 1, Colchester United 2, Salford City 2, Sutton United 0, Stockport County 2, Northampton Town 0, and Swindon Town winning 5-0 against Grimsby, and that game is still playing. Tranmere Rovers and Walsall also finished 1-1. So there you go, guys. That brings you up to date around the grounds. As I said, we're going to be doing a match watch along for the Scottish semi-final, which kicks off at 5:30. So it'll be great to see you guys join me there if you're not too busy. But for now, that's it from me, guys. A good win today from Bolton, winning 3-0 against Portsmouth. And I'm definitely happy about that, as I'm sure you can imagine. Being a Bolton fan, always want to see my team win. So massive thanks to you guys for getting involved in the chat today. Hopefully, most of you guys today have seen your team get a good win or a good result. So like I say, that's it from me for now. And hopefully, guys, if you're not too busy, it'd be great to see you on the live stream for the Scottish Cup semi-final, which kicks off at 5:30. So please feel free and welcome to join me again soon. All the best, stay safe, and bye for now.